show that makes you think. This is the Brian Kilmeade Show.
I'm not going to pre-hate anything. Do I have really good, optimistic feelings about it? No, I don't. But I'm just not going to pre-hate. I can't get into that mind go. Let's see what the disruptors can do, because quite frankly, the experts have just sort of like let something go for so long that it's just sclerotic now and constipated.
Bill Maher, I've said it, you heard me say this before. He just makes a lot of sense. He said, I'm mad because I wanted Democrats to win, and they act like idiots. They act like smug jerks, and the whole politically correctness, he's been saying it for the longest time. But he never wanted Trump elected. He never wanted Bush elected. He didn't change who he votes for, but he also knew that this was not working. John, on the Fox News Radio app in California. Hey, John.
Good morning, Brian. I just want to tell you how excited I am since the election. I mean, I'm so happy. The people in my neighborhood are happy. It's like a whole new energy. And I just wanted to point something out that I've noticed since 2016, how amazing Trump has been with his discipline. Because you remember in 2016, if something came up with a bad selection or picking fights with broadcasters on other networks, he's staying amazingly disciplined, and I think that's going to be, if that's any indication of his future, it's going to be an amazing administration. I'm so energized for
I know, and the thing is, they want to say so conservative, so liberal, so modern. It's none of that. It's everything. I mean, they say it's one of the most diverse, eclectic groups ever put together. And I don't need to run through the bigger names. Tulsi, a Democrat that was very critical of Ukraine. You have RFK, who was very critical of the vaccine system, but more of our food system. And he's got 47% of the people, when asked, our approval of him. You have Pete Hegseth, who's a war fighter, a major, a Ivy Leaguer, who also even served at Gitmo, wrote a book about what's wrong with the Pentagon. I mean, I'm looking at all these. I'm looking at this Oregon lawmaker. I didn't know anything about her. I'm reading about her. She's pro-union. And the Teamsters called them up and say, look, you're for the working class. I know you're not union. She has an affinity for unions. Let's put her in. Now, Trump's going to make the decision. But as labor, a Republican who lost in Oregon that doesn't hate unions, that's going to be a fantastic debate, isn't it? I mean, this is what you want. This is, nobody doubts John Radcliffe. He's classic. Marco Rubio is going to get about 95 votes in the Senate. Mike Waltz, if he needed approval, but he doesn't, he would have gotten 95 votes in the Senate. Traditional, his assistant, Alex Wong, is somebody that worked with the North Korean situation, okay? But at the same time, you have people around the president that are for just ending the Ukraine war, like J.D. Vance, and not supplying anything. If you sit in that room and that door closes, those opinions are going to fly. But when Trump makes a decision, the leaks are not going to break because they're all in. And they have Trump's back, but it doesn't mean they're sycophants. That's why people are excited. People want to get stuff done. It's not Republican or Democrat. Choking emergencies happen without warning, and every second matters. That's why LifeVac is here. Simple, easy-to-use device that has helped save thousands of lives. LifeVac is the only FDA-registered choking rescue device available, designed to help if traditional methods fail. Join us in our mission to help protect families and your family. Get LifeVac for your home, your school, your business, and help us reach 3,000-plus lives saved. Order now at lifevac.net because saving a life is priceless. Use promo code BRIAN to save 20% off orders. Lifevac.net.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
This is Fox News Talk.
Headline Rewind.
1994. Senator Ted Kennedy.
Jackie would have preferred to be just herself, but the world insisted that she be a legend too.
Police in Anaheim say they are following a white Ford Bronco. In that is O.J. Simpson with a gun to his head.
You guys have got to be strong because you are. I just know, I just feel in my heart that you're okay, but you got to take care of each other.
Susan Smith has been arrested and will be charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of her children.
It's not a Republican victory. It's not a Democratic victory. It is the American people making a set of choices.
Can you get someone over here now to 325 Gretna Green? He's back. Please. Okay, what does he look like? He's O.J. Simpson. I think you know his record.
News as it happened then, news as it happens now.
This is Fox News Talk.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 7 o'clock.
Attention.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Bank of America Merrill Investments. Naperville's vibrant dance culture will shine on a national stage this Thanksgiving as the Washing Arts Group and Art East Chicago Dance Troupe will be part of the 90th Annual Thanksgiving Day Parade in Chicago. Audiences can look forward to seeing Washing's mesmerizing snowflakes and roses. Elgin Community College's Blizzard Theater will be filled with the sounds of Handel's Messiah on Friday at 7 p.m. as the 3rd Annual Sing-Along Messiah event unfolds. The vibrant gathering invites participants to join forces with the Elgin Symphony Orchestra, the Elgin Youth Symphony Orchestra, and an onstage choir from the Elgin Master Chorale. McCain County Forest Preserve District presenting Nurtured by Nature, a unique series designed to showcase the therapeutic benefits of the great outdoors. Scheduled for the first 3 Sundays of December through the end of February, these hour-long sessions feature gentle stretching, deep breathing, and mindful hiking. Contact the Forest Preserve for further information. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
The only downside to Taco Bell's Cravings value menu is having to decide. It's got 10 different favorites for $3 or less. How do I choose between the super beefy cheesy double beef burrito, the crunchy loaded beef nachos, the pillowy 3-cheese chicken flatbread, or the... I don't have time to list them all. I'll have to go to Taco Bell and try them. The Taco Bell Cravings value menu. 10 items, $3 or less. At participating U.S. stores, plus supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies. Tax extra. Double seasoned beef compared to the Burrito Supreme.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on WRMN AM 1410. If you're a homeowner or contractor looking to tackle those projects that feel a bit too big, this is the show for you. Join Eric along with his knowledgeable guests as they dive deep into everything from DIY renovations to creating a healthy home environment. We'll provide you with the tools and tips you need to complete your projects with confidence and ease. But it's not all work and no play. We believe in having fun. Our passion for home improvement shines through as we help you save time, money, and reduce the stress of DIY. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, don't miss Around the House. Tune in every Saturday night and let's tackle those home projects together.
This is WRMN News.
Hello, I'm Dennis Green. Thousands of people of northeastern Pennsylvania woke up to no power this morning after a massive snowstorm over the weekend. Some areas in higher elevation reported up to 19 inches of snow on Friday. Lower valley cities like Scranton saw less accumulation with up to 7 inches. Speakeasy Saloon and resort owner Courtney Durante.
We didn't think it was going to be this much. I mean, we expected we were supposed to get snow, but I mean, no one ever thought we were going to lose power and be out for days. And I mean, we're used to the snow here, but this is a lot.
Forecasters say the snow was wet and heavy in some cases, downing trees and wires. Cars were seen sliding on slick roads and getting stuck in snow piles. Multiple crashes were also reported. For WRMN News, I'm Dennis Green.
Mark on your calendar that you can get photos with the Grinch. Enjoy some holiday fun right here in downtown Elgin. Take a photo with the Grinch from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and end the day with the Elgin tree lighting ceremony. Bring the kids for a festive selfie photo with the Grinch himself at the Elgin Area Chamber while you're out shopping on Small Business Saturday, November 30th in downtown Elgin. Located at 31 South Grove Street in Elgin, the Grinch appears between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. before the lighting of the holiday tree on DuPage Court. Then the following week, enjoy a special night of Christmas music in Elgin. 6 talented local vocalists and musicians are to perform at Evangelical Covenant Church in Elgin on Saturday, December 7th at 5 p.m. For a local focus, I'm Ben Boquist. WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
B-Lux Bar and Grill, Wisconsin tells, is the quintessential American grill and bar, with refined rustic cuisine and award-winning libations. Their honest, feel-good food menu is complemented by a beer list to satisfy every taste. Classic cocktails and our signature shakes, rich and creamy with a splash of boozy goodness just to shake things up a little bit. B-Lux Grill and Bar, classic American cuisine with a contemporary twist.
A dream that's been cooking for years, Maria's Little Italy in Sycamore is waiting for you to come and enjoy authentic recipes handed down for generations. Stop in and enjoy bruschetta, handmade focaccia bread, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. Dine in, take out, delivery, or catering is all available. Go to mariaslittleitaly.com and see what you've been missing. From their family to yours, welcome to Maria's Little Italy, where food brings families together.
From the Fox News radio studios in Midtown Manhattan, giving you opinions and facts with a positive outlook. It's Brian Kilmeade.
All right, from 48th and 6th in Midtown Manhattan, heard around the country, around the world. This is the Brian Kilmeade Show. Jimmy Fail is going to be joining us now from Fox Cross Country, and Michael Goodwin standing by. But we have a lot going on in New York. This is going to be a big, well, actually next week, December 2nd, is going to be the big week for the president and his lawfare. Everything comes to a head. They're going to find out what Jack Smith's going to give his recommendations, what happens to his indictments, and New York should know possibly, although it's in somewhat of a delay of game at this moment. Alvin Bragg wants a full prosecution after the president's done, but the judge is yet to make a ruling. We'll talk to Michael Goodwin about that, but first let's get to the big three.
Now, with the stories you need to know, it's Brian's Big Three.
Number 3.
The entire Democratic Party bears the responsibility, myself included, and the former president, mounted an effective campaign, and you have to give him credit for that. To me, the existential question is, if you're working hard in America, can you still earn a good living? And too many people doubt that that's possible.
Right. Recalibrating and reassessing. That's what the Dems are doing as they look at the reality of the failed Biden years and the loss of American trust in their party. Some are already standing out, especially here in New York. Robert Holden speaking up, a Democrat who says stop with the sanctuary cities. Richie Torres not far behind. These are New York lawmakers standing up to other Democrats.
Number 2.
This administration's turned this world upside down. So now I'm being attacked, right? I got death threats. My family's not even living in my home right now. So all of a sudden, the guys who want to enforce the law are the bad guys. The guys who break the law are the victims.
It's crazy. The world is upside down right now, Tom Homan. Caravans coming to our border, still 1,500 strong, to try to get here before Trump takes over. Meanwhile, illegals abusing our system and our people. Virginia, the latest, we watched Lake and Riley last week. They're robbing American people of needed services and safety. We get more on how it's all going to get done and fixed, and why missing kids and criminals have to be the priority.
Number 1.
Democrats need to pick, I think, one. They've got 3 people, I think, that are questionable nominees.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and Pete Hegseth. You got to pick one, because if you go after all three of them, you're going to probably go 0 for 3.
Right. Trump Team 2, as diverse and distinctive as any in modern American history, as all but a handful of major positions have been filled. We review and look at the headwinds some face as the first polling on the transition team in America is approving so far. Let's bring in Michael Goodwin from the New York Post. Hey, Michael.
Good morning, Brian.
First off, you see that Tom Homan is doing what the other cabinet secretaries and people that and other czars aren't doing it. He's speaking publicly. I think it's a good move. He's talking about what he's going to do, how he's going to do it. While, everyone else is the energy secretaries and labor secretaries, they've been told to keep it down. I like the fact that Homan's been public. Do you?
Somewhat. I think maybe a little too much of him right now. You don't want to get too far ahead. You don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. And look, he knows the field, right? He had this job before, basically. I mean, he ran, most of the Border Patrol. Now he's gotten a promotion, but he still, I think, needs to sort of wait, because if you overpromise now, we're still in November, you don't take office until the third week in January, and then it's going to take some time. So I wouldn't get too far ahead of the actual operations, because I think it could create a sense of expectation that you can't meet because it's simply too early.
I'm hopeful that some Democrats are going to realize their own political fortunes and their people. There's no midterms coming up right now. And I listened to Robert Holden this morning. He's with he is a Democrat who says we got to change the sanctuary cities, cut 45.
We had to remember, especially in New York City, 9/11. What happened? We didn't communicate. NYPD didn't communicate with, obviously, federal agents. So that's how the terrorists got in. So we need some communications. And what we're doing here is we're shielding them. The governors, Democratic governors and the mayors of these sanctuary cities are shielding criminals and terrorists, Brian. So this is why it's so very important to start cooperating with.
Yeah, he doesn't see it. And he thinks Adams can do more, cut 46.
He can also petition the governor. He could possibly do a call on the city council. Let's negotiate this. Let's try to amend some of the sanctuary city laws. There's 4 of them over the years that the council has passed to have less cooperation with the feds. We need to cooperate with ICE, especially on the illegal aliens that are committing crime. And that's what I'm really focusing on. And also the possible terrorists that are in New York City.
We saw Richie Torres call Governor Hochul the Joe Biden of New York, that she's done. She didn't even run for re-election again. Her ideas are bad. Your thoughts?
Look, I'm always happy, Brian, to see Democrats waking up and speaking out against what are clear failures promulgated by their party. There's just no question about it that the sanctuary cities it's only true in Democratic-run cities, particularly like New York, like Chicago, and the whole border thing is a total creation of the Biden-Harris administration. So these are the problems. I wish there were more Democrats speaking out. I mean, Holden and Richie Torres is now in Congress, Holden in the city council. I mean, I think there are 6 Republicans out of 51 council members. Holden is one of the few Democrats who dares to vote with Republicans and talks in the same manner about these things. Donald Trump won 44% of the vote in New York State this time. Lee Zeldin won about the same, closer to, I guess, 46% when he ran for governor in 2022. So New York is getting closer to being a real bipartisan state. But it's still got a long way to go. And you don't, I mean, if for example, the New York State legislature was comprised of the same percentages that Donald Trump got to vote, if there were 44% of the legislators in Albany were Republican, that would be a great experience because people would then be able to choose between ideas. Right now, the Republican voice isn't really heard. The conservative voice is drowned out. And so people have to start voting in ways that make it a two-party system, because without a two-party system, you get this lopsided policy, which is what sanctuary cities really is. It's a one-party policy.
So when you look at this formation of this Trump team and you see how diverse they are, I'm encouraged by it. Also, it must confuse people to a degree. I mean, we know about Michael Waltz and traditional Marco Rubio and Susie Wiles, who is expected to be there. Pam Bondi is a fantastic sub for a brutally full Congressman Gates. But when I see the Trump cabinet has now you have Lori Chavez DeRemer. She's an Oregon Republican who lost her seat this month, spoke of the father's membership to Teamsters. She won support from about 20 labor unions during her reelection bid. And then you have Brooke Rollins. She's a typical America First Institute. She was America First Policy Institute co-chair. So that's more traditional, but agriculture. Alex Wong worked for Mitt Romney, now working with Waltz and President Trump. So he's trying to bring people in that he can trust, but don't necessarily agree with.
Look, assembling a cabinet is a fascinating experience, I would guess. And, you know, Brian, so when Joe Biden became president, he had this whole Democratic government on the shelf, right? They were all veterans of, some of them, the Clinton years, the Obama-Biden years. And so they were sort of a government in waiting. When Donald Trump came to Washington the first time, there was no government in waiting. He had broken with the Republican Party. He had to assemble out of sort of whole cloth. He had to assemble a government. This time, he's got more experience. He knows more of what he wants, and he knows the kind of people he wants. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's going to work out or that he's even going to be happy in the end with his choices. I think Matt Gaetz, I'm actually amazed at how quickly the president gave up on Gaetz. I think it was the right decision. I think appointing him was a mistake, and Trump effectively acknowledged that by throwing it, just saying, that's it, can't do it, can't be done. I think that was a great move. Some of the others, I think, we have to see, can they get confirmation?